Negotiations between the city and union representatives came to an abrupt end, and District Council 33 officially went on strike. Union reps walking out of talks after the city failed to meet their asks on a new contract. Money has been and continues to be the biggest sticking point here. Yesterday afternoon, the city offered a 3-year deal with raises at 2%, 3%, and 3%, with the addition of an extra step in the DC 33 pay scale. The union then countered with a final offer of 5% raises, which it's been fighting for at a minimum the entire time. We spoke with the union president late last night as he was walking out of discussions with the city, and he had a message for the people of Philadelphia.
Philadelphia is a blue-collar city. We work hard, and unfortunately, a lot of us inside the city, not just our city workers, are experiencing difficulty with trying to keep pace with inflation and the cost of living and trying to maintain inside the city of Philadelphia. And so that's what our members are doing. So we certainly hope they understand our plight and they empathize with our situation. We certainly want to get back to providing the services to the men and women of Philadelphia as soon as possible.
And Mayor Sherrell Parker responded on X around 2 in the morning on behalf of the city, writing in part, quote, "I regret to inform you that as of 12:01 a.m., District Council 33 officially went on strike. The city of Philadelphia put its best offer on the table tonight. Unfortunately, DC 33 did not accept it."
Oh, wait. Oh, what a way to put it on the unions. What a way to put it on the unions. Let me ask you guys something. How much money is the Philadelphia police getting? How much are they getting? Or what about raising taxes on the most wealthy people in Philadelphia? Are we going to do that to be able to backstop? Oh, but no, you're not going to do that. We got to get into it. Philadelphia, where my family's from. In West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playgrounds where I spent most of my days. Philadelphia right now is going through it. And so we're going to get this story. Let me see something. I want to share. Let's go here. All right. So we're going to share this and then we're going to get into the details. Because a lot of people in Philadelphia are saying, you know what? We're done with this. This ain't brotherly love. Y'all can do better than that. Let's go.
Looming strike in the city of Philadelphia for 9,000 DC 33 union workers. Our Steve Keeley joins us live with the latest. Steve, this doesn't just affect the workers. I mean, there are people wondering if their trash will be picked up tomorrow.
Well, here we are 6 hours before the strike, and lots of people are affected. Aaron, point that way. There's North Broad Street. So one of the slogans on the signs is shut it down. Well, they have shut Center City traffic down around City Hall as they rallied, then marched. So you got North Broad, JFK Boulevard, all the way to Aaron's right. You have 15th Street shut down because police are trying to protect the thousands of union members who had their rally, and then they just marched around City Hall. Now they're just gathering in the street here. And again, they're not just shutting streets down. They're going to shut a whole lot down should they walk off the job at midnight. And so Greg Boulware, the man you probably know pretty well by now, who is the president of Local 33, is saying that they are far, far apart on a deal. The city is offering this union 3 more years with a total of 8% spread out over those 3 years. The union wanted 6% per year or 18% over those 3 years. So that is a pretty big gap when it comes to labor negotiations. Here's some of what Greg told his folks at the rally a few minutes ago.
I don't want to be rich. We just want a comfort inside the city that we serve daily. Right. A victory for District Council 33 is a victory for Philadelphia. It's a victory for all working people. When the clock strikes 12:01, This ain't a want. It's a need. This is Council 33. If we don't have a contract, then we will effectually shut this city down.
Ooh! 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 Yes! Yes! This is what we're talking, baby. This is what I've been waiting for. Yes. Shut it down. Go ahead, shut it down. Because here's the thing, right? If you're not willing to pay your workers what it takes to live in the city of Philadelphia, let me take a look at this. Let me show y'all something. All right. Because in Pennsylvania, where Philadelphia is located, you need to make $26.26 an hour in order to be able to afford a 2-bedroom apartment. Right? This is from the National Low Income Housing Coalition Outreach Program. So, their minimum wage in Pennsylvania is $7.25 an hour. $7.25 an hour in Pennsylvania, right? You need to make at least $26.26 an hour. So you need to make more than 3 times of that in order to be able to afford a 2-bedroom apartment. And that's ridiculous. That's crazy. And here's the median hourly wages, right? And so, unfortunately, many people cannot afford to live in Philadelphia, which is ridiculous, right? So let me see here. You need to work 119 hours to afford a modest 1-bedroom. 119 hours. And that's ridiculous. Make sure I see this. Make sure I have a correct one. No, that's the wrong one. I know I had another one. I had the updated version. Here we go. Okay. Let me share this with y'all too, because let me see. Yeah. Let's go to Pennsylvania. Because I want to share with you guys not just the overall for Pennsylvania, but I also want you guys to see ultimately. Wait, what? Refresh. Okay. So here's the breakdown that I want you guys to. Hang on. What in the world? Okay. Let me share this with you guys because I want to make sure I get this breakdown really, really good for y'all. All right. So this is Pennsylvania. And thanks to Roger for this. most expensive areas: Philadelphia, Camden, Wilmington. I'm sorry. You need to make $33.40 an hour in order to afford a 2-bedroom apartment in Philly. I am from across the bridge, the Ben Franklin Bridge in Camden County, New Jersey. That's where I'm from. It is expensive. So if you aggregate the average of how much you need to make in all of Philadelphia, let's just round it up to $27 an hour. $27 an hour, but you need to make $34 an hour just to live in Philadelphia. And the minimum wage is $7.25 an hour in the state. Why are they going on strike? Because you can't afford to live. And this is why they said, shut it down. So I agree, shut it down. Right? Let them know. Because the thing is, like, you can't expect these people to keep doing all this work without paying them a living wage. No. Absolutely not. Let's continue.
All right, so we're watching the clock on top of City Hall now as he threatens to shut the city down at 12:01. And it's not just your trash pickup, even though that is usually the first topic, and it certainly was when the mayor talked. They're going to open 63 drop-off locations throughout the city, and then maybe more later if needed. But only 20 pools will open, and here we are in another heat wave, and they were planning to have 60 open in just a few days. They had 40 open. They're going to have to cut that in half to keep it staffed. Libraries, cooling centers, they say, will stay open. Here's the other concern. You're looking at police guarding these protesters, right? Well, here's the other worry. Who's going to answer the phone if the 911 dispatchers, who are union members, part of this union, go on strike too? Well, 200 police officers have been trained for the past few weeks. They're going to pull cops off the streets and put them on the 911 system. And even pulling 200 off the streets, Jason, that doesn't really cut it in terms of the number of dispatchers they need. And so they promise that they'll get to the calls, but they're asking people, if you're calling 911, don't hang up. If nobody picks up after even 20 rings, maybe, just stay with the phone and be patient. They're going to answer all police and fire calls. And here's the other thing. With crime the way it is, they want more cops on the street, not less. This affects crime as well when you have 200 cops less on the streets of Philadelphia when they need 3,000 more, probably. Jason?
Don't have.
So even the 911 dispatchers are going on strike. If you don't pay them a living wage, why in the hell would you expect them to keep working and accept being exploited? Hey, Orlando! We all at? I mean, look, I know if the city of Orlando if the workers shut the city of Orlando down, I know it'll be an inconvenience to many of us. I know. And it would affect all of us. But I understand. And I'm going to stand with you. But that's the thing. Why should people have to go through this? Let's continue.
Have cops to spare, and they're going to have to use it. This does not look good, but there's still time. Hopefully they lock themselves in a room and get a deal done before midnight for the betterment of everyone. All right, Steve Keeley, you'll stay on top of this. We'll see you tonight at 10 here, and at that point, we'll be just hours away from that deadline.
So that was yesterday. And now, because it was yesterday, you know, Let me see here. Let's go into this. All righty. Let's get into it.
And back to the breaking news we're following this morning. Thousands of Philadelphia city employees right now on strike after not reaching a deal with the city for a new contract.
The strike happened. The strike happened. It's going on right now. They threatened it yesterday. They said, if we don't get a deal that we want, we're going on strike. They didn't reach a deal. They're on strike right now. Ooh, let's talk about it. Let's get into it.
Now, a lot of those employees, they're considered to be essential, but according to the city, they do have contingency plans in place to keep the city running.
That's right. We have team coverage. We begin with Ross Timotei. He fills us in on what transpired between the union and the city. Good morning, Ross.
Good morning, Siafa and Janelle. If honking horns are a sign of support for these striking city workers, then I'd argue they have a lot of it, at least here in front of police headquarters, where we've seen a few dozen of these striking city workers on the picket line since this strike went into effect at midnight. You can see they are still going strong despite dealing with rain overnight. And yeah, they've got a lot of support from these drivers as they pass by. These workers who are on strike include police dispatchers, along with trash collectors, street repair crews, water treatment plant operators, and airport maintenance staff, just to name a few. Negotiations went right up until the midnight deadline, but according to union leaders, these two sides are still a ways apart, especially when it comes to pay. So this is what it looked like around midnight last night as negotiations between the city and union representatives came to an abrupt end, and District Council 33 officially went on strike. Union reps walking out of talks after the city failed to meet their asks on a new contract. Money has been and continues to be the biggest sticking point here. Yesterday afternoon, the city offered a 3-year deal with raises at 2%, 3%, and 3%, with the addition of an extra step in the DC 33 pay scale. The union then countered with a final offer of 5% raises, which it's been fighting for at a minimum the entire time. We spoke with the union president late last night as he was walking out of discussions with the city, and he had a message for the people of Philadelphia.
Philadelphia is a blue-collar city. We work hard, and unfortunately, a lot of us inside the city, not just our city workers, are experiencing difficulty with trying to keep pace with inflation and the cost of living and trying to maintain inside the city of Philadelphia. And so that's what our members are doing. So we certainly hope they understand our plight and they empathize with our situation. We certainly want to get back to providing the services to the men and women of Philadelphia as soon as possible.
And Mayor Sherrell Parker responded on X around 2 in the morning on behalf of the city, writing in part, quote, "I regret to inform you that as of 12:01 a.m., District Council 33 officially went on strike. The city of Philadelphia put its best offer on the table tonight. Unfortunately, DC 33 did not accept it."
Oh, wait. Oh, what a way to put it on the unions. What a way to put it on the unions. Let me ask you guys something. How much money is the Philadelphia police getting? How much are they getting? Or what about raising taxes on the most wealthy people in Philadelphia? Are we going to do that to be able to backstop? Oh, but no, you're not going to do that. To offset that amount, so that to make sure that the city keeps running, to make sure that the trains keep running on time. It's crazy to me. Because you literally could raise taxes on the wealthiest Philadelphians. And then, or here's a shot in the dark. Build a public bank. Have a municipal public bank, a Bank of Philadelphia. You see, here's how a public bank would work. They build a public bank, and then the bank would not be open to the public per se, but it would the public money that the city of Philadelphia collects in taxes, they'll take that tax money, give it to the bank. The bank will grow that money in the market, and then that money that's grown in the market, because this is basically how banks work and how they make their money, that money will get redeposited into that account. The city of Philadelphia can pull that extra money that was made in the market out of the account and use that money for infrastructure, including paying the employees, the union workers, the living wage that they are demanding. Yeah. And all it would take for them to do is have a public bank in the city of Philadelphia. And then on top of that, if you're so worried about raising taxes on job creators, well then, hey, you have an out. You have a public bank. You don't have to raise taxes. But instead, you decide to shortchange the workers instead. And said, oh, well, this is the best we can do, and they wouldn't take it. Of course they wouldn't take it, because you're shortchanging them. How can they survive? You need to make at least $33 an hour, almost $34 an hour, just to be able to live in a 2-bedroom apartment in Philadelphia. What in the world are you thinking by shortchanging them? Do you really want your city and sanitation workers to be economically disadvantaged? Because if so, then guess what? You're not going to be able to hire many people. Oh, so you're just going to exploit more people? I'm sorry, but I don't want my SEPTA bus driver to be tired and exhausted because they have to work extra hours just to be able to afford their apartment. Because if I'm on the bus and if I'm trying to get to where I need to go within Philadelphia, well, hey, you know what? I don't want my bus driver to be sleepy. I don't want my trolley driver to be sleepy. I don't want people who are tasked with making sure that the city in which we live are stretched too thin because they have to work extra hours or they have to get a second or third job. No. Blaming it on the workers. Get out of here.
The city of Philadelphia remains committed to reaching a fair and fiscally responsible contract with our municipal workers who are a part of DC 33. We are ready, willing, and able to resume negotiations with the union, end quote. And we've heard a similar sentiment from union representatives saying they too are willing to go back to the negotiating table. But the big question is when. We don't have an immediate timetable for those negotiations to resume. In the meantime, these workers say they're willing to stay on the picket line as long as it takes. We haven't seen a large-scale city union strike like this in nearly 40 years, dating all the way back to 1986. Janelle and Siafa, back to you.
Ross DiMattei, the loudest spot in the city this morning. Thank you so much, Ross.
Right. It's so right. Okay, thanks, Ross. Our team coverage now continuing with Brandon Golder live at the sanitation department where more picketers are gathering. And Brandon, you have more about the city's contingency plan when it comes to trash pickup and pool hours and also answering those important 911 calls.
Absolutely. Good morning, Janelle and Siafa. A lot of workers out here in the city picketing. Sorry, there's a little bit of traffic right now, picketing outside of the sanitation yard here. Now, according to the city, they do have a contingency plan in place, but they need your help to implement it. And that includes not leaving your trash out by the curb.
By the way, if you want to know something, first of all, let's make this abundantly clear. Black faces in high places ain't going to save us, by the way. No. Black faces in high places are not going to save us. Especially not from a great value Shirley Chisholm. Sorry, but she kind of looks like Shirley Chisholm a little bit. But my thing is like, also, did you notice something about a lot of the workers? They're black. A lot of the workers are black. Yep. And they're being shortchanged. Now, would this happen with white workers? Yeah, sure, definitely. But here's the thing, right? You know how many people are going to look at this and go, they're just being greedy. Because they just don't want to do much work. They're lazy. That gets tagged on us all the time. When in reality, they're not lazy. They just don't want to be overly exploited. And that is a right that those of us who are workers have. We should make a living wage and not have to be exploited in order to be able to do the jobs that help keep this city running. All right.
We are arranging 63 temporary drop-off locations around Philadelphia where our residents can bring their trash.
As for emergencies, Police Commissioner Kevin Bethel says your 911 call will be answered.
We've been training for weeks now in preparation to be able to move our personnel from the street into the 911 center. Just so we'll be detailing officers into the 911 center. We have about 200 officers from a pool of officers that will be pulling into 911 center.
Amid these sweltering temperatures, only 25 pools will be open. Evening programs will be cut.
So hours during the work stoppage will be 9 to 5 instead of 9 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Now back out here, we are learning that parents who have kids in summer programming, they need to be sure that they have plans for their children to get to and from their summer programming safely because there are no crossing guards out there. And also importantly, they say if you're dropping off your trash, it's important for you to make sure that you drop it off only on your designated trash day. Back to you all.
All right. Thank you, Brent.
Even crossing guards have went on strike. Boy, oh boy.
And a lot of people talking about this on social media this morning, talking about the strike.
No doubt. Chandler Lutz continues our team coverage. Good morning, Chandler.
Yeah, good morning. So the reaction online is a mix of frustration, solidarity, and concern. The phrase "hold the lines" is trending, as well as wearing green in solidarity with the union. So let's start off with Mayor Parker. She posted on X. In a statement, she goes on to say that she is laser focused on providing the essential city services that our residents need and deserve. One user commented saying, "Go get it, Mayor, your time to shine. Make it so that many years from now, they will all be talking about how Mayor Parker stood tall and moved Philly ahead." But on the other side, we're seeing comments like, "Our city sanitation workers just endured a heat wave. They break their backs for this city every day. Pay them." They're also seeing a lot of users sharing frustration with the 4th of July holiday coming up. City and Philly Sanitation have also posted specific details on trash and recycling drop sites for what you need to know. And our team uncovered a photo. Take a look at this from nearly 40 years ago of the 1986 strike, showing a mountain of trash right in the city of Philadelphia. So I think it's pretty fair to say that no one wants to see this happen again.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for that, Chandler. And this strike happening during what is one of the busiest weeks for the city with the holiday this weekend. But Mayor Parker says the city's 4th of July festivities will go on as planned despite the strike.
Yeah. So, and you wouldn't imagine that 4th of July matters a lot to Philadelphia because Philadelphia was the original, nation's capital of the United States. The original nation's capital of this country was Philadelphia. And so, of course, they would definitely want to celebrate the 4th of July. But the problem is that you know how much trash gets made on 4th of July? You know how many people are out there barbecuing on 4th of July? You know how much trash that's going to create? You know how much trash people are going to make when they, blow up all their fireworks? How much trash that's gonna make? Oh, if this continues, they're gonna feel it. They're gonna feel it by Saturday morning. Yep. You're going to see trash upon trash. And then that Monday, Oh my goodness. Oh boy. If this strike continues, if they don't come, look, if the city of Philadelphia doesn't come correct, the municipal workers are going to make sure that the city leaders are going to get some of that get right. Okay? Because that's exactly what's about to happen. Let me tell you something. Philadelphia, people from Philly don't play. They don't play. They don't play about their sports. They don't play about their arts. They don't play about their work. They don't play. All right? Let me tell you. That mayor, she better get it right when it comes to negotiating. Basically meaning, I'd say give them what they need. Just give it to them. Because if you don't, they will make what that strike that happened 40 years ago, they're going to make it happen again. It's going to happen again. And guess what? Ma'am, you're done. Because I'm willing to bet a lot of people in Philadelphia are going to stand by the workers. Oh, and yes, they're also very serious about their cheesesteak and the soft pretzels. Make sure you get the good mustard with it too. Oh boy, this is
Strike. She's encouraging families to come out for the festivities, and that includes the Wow Wow Welcome America July 4th Festival that's happening on the Ben Franklin Parkway. This year's headline performers are LL Cool J and Philly native Jasmine Sullivan.
Stay with us for the latest on the strike and its impact on Philadelphians. When we're not on TV, you can get the latest updates on our stream and online at cbsphiladelphia.com.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Now, let's get into this article here because this actually is going a little bit more in detail. I think it's important that we get into this. This talks about with Philadelphia municipal worker strike looming, mayor offers miserable pay increase. So this was yesterday, right? So negotiations between the city of Philadelphia and the union representing over 9,000 sanitation workers and other trades continued throughout the weekend and overnight Sunday to avert a work stoppage set for midnight Monday. As of this writing, no deal has been announced. The looming strike occurs as 14,000 city educators have also voted to go on strike at the end of August. So the teachers are thinking about going on strike. Abbott Elementary ain't going to have no teachers. Abbott Elementary, I know it's a fictional elementary school, but they ain't going to have no teachers at the end of August when school starts back up. Which means if you thought that you were going to have a break from your kids when they go back to school, nope. Looks like you're going to have to find a babysitter because teachers ain't taking it. All right. In addition to municipal workers associated with AFSCME, District Council 33, another 3,000 municipal workers affiliated with the AFSCME, Local 47, have also voted to go on strike. The struggle unfolds against the budget crisis in the city that has led Southeastern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority, SEPTA, to adopt a doomsday budget. Last Thursday, we have to budget not on hope, but on reality. So it says the budget would slash services in the coming fiscal year by nearly a half. I'm telling you right now, that means that SEPTA, okay, it's not only the buses, it is also the subway and the trolleys. So y'all about to cut services too? Because you guys can't pay your workers? Living wages, man, they can change things. The term doomsday budget was also used to describe a similarly catastrophic funding bill for the city's school district a decade ago. At that time, the school district of Philadelphia eliminated thousands of non-core positions, leaving the teachers in the schools stripped of resources. Budget crises are unfolding on major metropolitan centers all over the United States, with the proximate cause in many cases being the cutoff of pandemic assistance by the Biden administration last year. In Chicago, the cities have unveiled their own doomsday budget, which would eliminate over half of all bus routes, completely end weekend bus service, and lay off thousands of transit workers. The Philadelphia municipal strikes impact would shut down key parts of the city's trash collection program, street and building maintenance, and other critical services. Workers have particular leverage at the present time because it would impact the city amid Welcome America, its signature summer festival, as well as the July 4th weekend celebration this coming weekend. Members of DC 33 are demanding an annual wage increase of 8% over 4 years. They are currently working under a 1-year extended contract, which came with a one-time 5% wage increase last year. The city is seeking to combine last year's raise with an additional 3-year offer that would bring the total amount to 12%. On Saturday, the city's Democratic mayor, Sherelle Parker, produced a video promoting this offer as the largest one-term pay increase given to municipal workers in decades. I am unapologetically pro-union, pro-labor, pro-worker mayor, she said. Parker added that the increase came to an average amount of $2,383 per recipient. Here's the thing, though. You know who also said they were pro-worker? Joseph Robinette Biden. And what did he do with the Railroad Workers Union? Exactly. So do you really believe her? I don't. I really don't. And so this is part of the problem. It says, but the city's offer won't even cover the impact of inflation. According to official figures, the inflation in Philadelphia is just between the years of 2022 and 2024 amounted to 16.8%. During this time period, Philadelphia municipal workers regularly missed raises, even as minimum wage pay increased slightly and private contractors saw raises. Workers responded to Parker's proposal with contempt on social media, 5% or higher per year over 3 or 4 years, period, for 20% or nothing. We need it and we deserve it, said a worker on the union social media page. She needs to come out and try doing some of the work in the season that we do during the summer and winter months, and she would understand that it takes a lot of special people while she sits in her office. Let me tell you something right now. Sherelle Parker, pay them. Pay them what they're owed. Pay them what they deserve. Mrs. Parker, are you kidding me right now? This is why the system needs to change. This is why. And this is why we need to build solidarity and do mutual aid and build dual power. Because if we do that, then we can get these workers to come together, just like they do for the strike, and do it for other industries as well, and build solidarity across industries. Because we cannot let the real estate owners, the corporate owners, and their lackeys, the politicians, run roughshod over our lives like this. My hope is that the municipal workers in Philly get exactly what they ask for. No, they get exactly what they demand. I actually want them to get what they demand and then some. Yes. Because they're the ones who make the city run. Nothing can happen unless they allow it. So, solidarity with the workers of Philadelphia. Solidarity with the workers across these United States and around the world. Because ultimately, look, like the people in Philly always say, and across the world, especially here in this country, if we don't get it, shut it down. Thank you so very much for watching my channel, and I deeply appreciate it from the top and bottom of my heart. If you wish to support the channel further, so I can keep bringing you content that is educational and informative, you can become a patron on patreon.com/Jaybefaunt. You can find that link in the pinned comment or in the description below. No matter what you give, you'll be supporting independent media and education that helps make the world better. Thank you so much, and you can watch more of my content here. Mwah. Forehead kisses, and have a beautiful day.